17 minutes after the hour, the weather is getting warmer, as we all know, and that has more people heading outdoors with their pets. But there are some unwritten rules to keep in mind, especially when you go to the beach. So here you go. We're joined by Seamus Toomey of DNA Info Chicago. And Seamus, what do we call this? The ultimate guide on how not to be a jerk with your pet?
Exactly.
Okay.
At the dog beach. At the dog beach. You know, it's beach season just started this last weekend. Dog beach season as well. But there's a lot of new pet owners out there. They don't quite know how to behave out there on the dog beach. So our Kyla Gardner, our animal expert, she went out there and talked with just tons of dog owners and just figured out what's the way to act and the way not to act on the dog beach, because some of the stuff isn't known.
Okay, what are some examples?
All right, well, the first one, everyone agrees, is pay attention. I mean, you can't, if you're going there to socialize, if you're going there to meet other dog owners, maybe your future wife, you got to pay attention to what your dog's doing, because the next thing you know, your dog's running off, causing a ruckus.
So pay attention to the dog.
Pay attention to the dog, right?
Okay.
It's not, you're not just there to socialize. Pay attention to your dog and make sure he's not creating problems with other dogs. The other one is don't bring food to the dog beach.
No,
that's a mess. You don't know what someone else's dog eats or is allergic to. We've heard stories about feeding like ham sandwiches and Cheetos to other people's dogs. I don't know why you feed someone else's dog, but it goes on all the time there.
Okay, good stuff to remember. All right. Now, you also have a story this week about some folks in Austin out there who are trying to help local kids who need an extra helping hand to get to college, right?
Yeah, this is a really cool story. It's the Third Unitarian Church out in Austin, and they've been doing this program for more than 40 years now. They fundraise from the community, and then they dole out scholarships to kids in the neighborhood who they have promise but not money. That's sort of their slogan. And they send reps out into the schools, and they talk to counselors, they talk to principals, tell us someone that really could use a leg up. And then they just send out checks. The checks have been going out, and these kids get them in the mail, and it makes a huge difference. Now, they're $1,000 scholarships, so they're not going to pay, obviously, all of the tuition, but it's sort of a boost. It gets like seed money to get them going, and it really motivates them. So we talked to a bunch of these kids, and they just said, this is so huge for me to get it in the mail, to know that somebody trusts me to go to college and make a difference.
Sort of a confirmation that, hey, kid, you're on the right path, keep it going, right?
And there's a woman named Roberta Wilson. She's 88. She's been running this program for 40 years, and she is just a saint out there. And
what a great story!
Yeah, it's a really good community effort out in Austin.
Fantastic. And then thirdly, there's a story of some women who are taking the green roofs we see around the city and turning it into sort of a business. How does this work?
Right. A lot of us were out working in the garden this weekend, but imagine doing it 20 feet up on top of your garage, or in West Town, these women are doing it on top of a industrial complex 20 feet off the ground. But here's the twist on it. One of them has developed a brand new system of you can do this in about 4 inches of soil, growing crops. We're not just grasses and different things to help the environment. This is actually revenue-producing crops. And what they'll do for you as well is, if you'll pay for the initial outlay, they will manage the whole rooftop. They'll run it for you. They'll harvest it. They'll put in this. It's called. Make sure I get it right. It's called the Omni ecosystem. Is the new generation.
So the idea
rooftop.
is you only need 4 inches. It's not a tremendous depth you need, so you can put that on top of a roof and get away with it.
Right, and it's much less of a load on the structure itself, and you can actually eat off of it and make a little bit of money.
Wow.
They'll harvest it, they'll sell it for you, and then they'll give you a chunk of the money. So
good stuff as always, Seamus. And for more information, we go where again?
DNAinfo.com/Chicago.
I thought I stumped you for a second.